Hi children, we are here to study the science, class 4, chapter 5, food, our basic needs. Right, to introduce food. What is food? Now children, at home you sit and just go on from the morning eating your breakfast, lunch, evening tea and tiffin, whatever it is, and night supper or dinner. So you get various items there. Sometimes you get very tasty ones. Sometimes, though the things are not very tasty, but yet your parents say, please have it beta or have it beti because it will be for your health. So all these comes because you know the food is nothing but the solar energy in the form of chemical energy. So food is a chemical energy which is converted into our body to kinetic energy, or any living being's body to kinetic energy to perform the work. So food is our basic necessity. If there is no food, no organism is going to be staying. All the microorganisms which we cannot see, even they need food. The smaller organisms, they need food. Insects like mosquito, bedbug and all those, they also need food as our blood and all. Well, the plants, they need also food. They prepare the food in their own body. So they are known as autotrophs, that you know. They have green pigment which is known as chlorophyll, and they can just convert the sunlight and the minerals along with the water to the carbohydrates. And these carbohydrates in the form of glucose, they break down to form their energy. The plants are actually the producers. They produce the food for all the living organisms. Now, we get them sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. Directly we get them as in the fruits and vegetables. Fruits we eat, nice munching mangoes, apples and all. And vegetables also sometimes we eat. So vegetables what we get. So we get the vegetables and fruits directly from the plants. Suppose I don't know whether you stay, at your home might be some plants like guava or mango, and you can just taste them all. So like that you can take it directly. But milk you cannot take directly because the plants are being eaten by the goat and the cow and the buffalo. They produce milk, we take them. So that is indirect. In fact, all the animals are heterotrophs except some animals, because some animals directly feed on the plants. That is also heterotroph. They cannot make their own food except one or two. That is there, they can, very lower animal can make their own food. So whatever it is, the food they take and food they procure in different way. Some animals are there, they are predators, they jump and kill. Some are there, those who stay on the plant, trees, comes down to collect the seeds and roots and all. Like that there are various kinds. The herbivores take the grasses and all those plants and all. Carnivores feed on the fleshes and all. And the omnivores like us feed both on plants and animals. So that is how the total organism remains for the food. Okay. Now, in our learning objectives we have the types of food. We, from the very, teen age, we need to eat the food which is required. When we take birth from the mother, then we need to suck the mother's milk, because that is a wholesome food and that is having lots of antibodies and all those which goes in your body and makes you very strong and immune, because nowadays you know the immunity is very much required for various kinds of viruses and all those are coming and destroying us. So we need the immunity to prove. That is what is you have to know. So except of that, there when you grow, we need to have the balanced diet. What is balanced diet? Basically, we need these types of food which are required for our nutrition. So in nutrition, what do you do? There are 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and excretion. What are the meaning of that? Ingestion means taking in food. Digestion means making the food simple, because We cannot take the food directly and send it in our cells. Suppose I have given you some potatoes to eat or some pieces of meat to eat, whoever likes what. Then we eat and those pieces cannot go into the cells. Then what will happen? Suppose I have taken an apple and given you small apple, you eat it and it does go into your cells and comes over your tip of the nose. The nose will be swollen like apple. Is it happening like that? No. The potato is not swelling up from here. The piece of meat cannot swelling up from here. Then what is happening? That food we are chewing, crushing, grinding, mixing with the tongue, saliva, sending into our stomach, from there the intestine, and this is how it is processed. Processed into absolute liquid selected matter which can be taken, absorbed by our body in the bloodstream. That is how we do. So that is, first is ingestion, means taking in the food. Digestion means the simplification of the food, and then absorption. The food is simplified in the stomach, intestine and all, and then from there it is absorbed into the bloodstream, and into the bloodstream, and as it is absorbed, it is then after some processes goes to the various cells of the body where it is converted into energy. And whatever the things which are not required for our body, that goes for egestion. That means the excretion that goes there. So that is why it is the process and the steps are followed and formed. Well, you see, the 5 main kinds of food along with the 2 other additional ones: carbohydrate, proteins, fats and oils, minerals and salts, which means roughage and water. Sir, you are telling water is a food. Yes, my son. Yes, my children, water is also a food, because water has lot of impact in the body. I am coming to that point later on. Let's see what happens for the carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is a food which is providing general energy for the body. General energy. In the whole world, the people are having carbohydrate in different forms. We, China, Japan and all those Asian countries, mostly we eat rice, and that is the carbohydrate. Some people can have chapati, bread, roti, all those we get from wheat. Wheat is also carbohydrate. Then what? We have potato, we have grapes, we have peaches, mangoes, etc. That is also carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is general energy giving food. What is it? General energy giving food. So it maintains the minimum energy level. Then coming to protein. Protein is the food which builds the body of the organisms. Body building food. Protein is body building food. Protein is need to be taken in proper amount. Excess protein will always go through the urine and it will make harm. So protein is to be taken properly. Well, now protein is the body building food. There are 2 kinds of protein that we get: animal protein and plant protein. Animal protein is the protein which we get from egg, fish, meat, chicken, milk, etc. Animal proteins are proteins which are little bit hard, little bit tougher to be digested, but it is digested. So animal protein are those. Then we give you the plant protein. In plant protein, all kinds of pulses. Children, I think you prefer dal, chana dal, moong dal, masoor dal, arhar dal, and except of that there are some other pulses are also there. Except of that, we eat rajma, soybean, etc. Soybean is a very, very good protein. It is 1 kg of soybean is equivalent to 6 kgs of milk and 4 kgs of meat. So they are having lots of power in them. And plant protein is also easily digestible. So nowadays on the surface of the earth, the people staying in advanced countries, they like the plant proteins more than the animal proteins. So what's happening, the plant protein, all kinds of pulses, rajma and soybean. I explained you that soybean 1 kg equals to 6 kgs of milk. 1 kg soybean equals to 4 kgs of meat. So it's very powerful. Well, next one is fats and oils. Now children, many people say, don't eat fat, you will get fat. It is not that. Fats and oils are very much required for your body because fats are bringing luster. What is luster? That is in other languages called glamour of your body. And they also give you the power to withstand the disease. Well, what is the function of the fat? Carbohydrates are minimum energy giver of the body, that maintaining energy. Fats and oils give you the boosting of energy, ability to work more, and that is the give, but not excess. You must take in a precise and in controlled manner. Well, the fats and oils that we get from butter, many of you, like to have butter, toast and all butter, ghee, oil, nuts, cheese. Nuts are various nuts are there. Simple peanuts, cashew nuts, almond nuts and all those. So there are many. And then cheese, they lead to excess of eating of them lead to heart disease because they increase cholesterol, and cholesterol is deposited inside so we see the cholesterol is deposited into the veins and arteries, and so they can block the heart also. So this is how that is harmful. So they cause the heart disease. Number 4 is the vitamins. Now the vitamins are of two types: the fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamin. These are the two types: fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamin. Fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. And fat soluble vitamins are this, and water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and its group, vitamin B1, B2, B12 and vitamin C. These are the water soluble vitamins. Now let's see what does the vitamin do. Now the vitamins are the guards of the body. What? They are the guards of the body. They give you the power to fight with the diseases. They increase your immunity. They give you the luster. And these are all the functions of the vitamin. Number 5 is the minerals and salts. Now you see, minerals and salts they are giving and making your bones and teeth and all strong, and they are giving you the flexibility as well as the cellular tension keeps better, so that you look good and your function of your body remains proper. So that is the mineral and the salts. Coming to the next one, which is known as roughage. What is it? Number 6 is roughage. Now roughage is not a direct food. You see, cucumber, then little bit of palak, little bit of other vegetables make roughage salad, which is known as. And what is the function of it? They supply little bit of vitamin to the body, but their main function is to digest, is to help the digestion properly. So they never digest themselves, they helps to digest, and they also give the vitamin supply. They also make the body able to take more and more water, and as more as water they take, they make the bowels clear by making the excretory matter soften, and no constipation occurs. That is what the function of the roughage. And number 7, though many people will say not, but it is water. Water is one of the very important food, for the people. Water is very, very important. It keeps all the digestive enzymes and all very much liquid, and so that they can act throughout the body and throughout the digestive system properly and helps them to do digestion. Number 2, water keeps the balance of the temperature in the body. Water helps in all chemical reactions going on inside the body, and so water gives the birth to all the internal cells and takes out all the toxic matter, poisonous matter out through the urine and sweat and etc. etc. So that is why water is also very, very much important for the people. Well, these are the types of food that we have already come to know. Now, we'll discuss about the balanced diet. What is it? It's a balanced diet. Balanced diet is a diet where all the food items, what means the types of food which is required for nutrition, is in adequate amount. So food must be in adequate amount. That is all this food. One person eating only carbohydrates can suffer from the nutrition deficiency of the other kind of food. Less protein eating, protein deficiency. Fats and oils, minerals and salts, vitamins, sulfate. So every item, all those food should be eaten in a proper and maintained way, and this is known as balanced diet. So this is known as balanced diet. In balanced diet, every food item, that means carbohydrates, proteins, fats and oils, minerals, vitamins, roughage and water should be kept in a proper way so that the body will remain very, very steady and no diseases will be there because the immunity will be more and all those. Obviously, there may be, infection and all those are there. So, before we go for the balanced diet, we should know if the balanced diet is not given, then we may have kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is the disease which is due to the malnutrition it is happening. And there is PCM, that is the deficiency disease for protein malnutrition. Okay, so the people in our country, especially the children, they suffer from the undernutrition, then the malnutrition, because they do not get food only. So that is undernutrition. And malnutrition, where you get the types of food and you ignore to eat one type. That is why children always say, when the parents say, please take vegetables, take it. Please take this, take it. So eat everything. Do not leave everything so that you make deficient by the vitamins, by the proteins or something else. That is very much required for you. And this is what is known as balanced diet. So balanced diet is a diet where all the nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, salts, vitamins, roughage and water are in correct and adequate amount is there. That is very much required for that. Well, is it good? If it is good to have the balanced diet, it is very poor to have junk food. Nowadays, the children are very fond of having junk food. Let's go outside, have momo, chow mein, all those fast food in the various kinds of small, shops found on the thela or some what is called carts. Then you get the junk food, and by junk food what happens? Your digestion does not work. There's no good things are there. So many infections and all can be happening. Deficiency can be happening, and this junk food will spoil your system of digestion. It will just lead you to get some diseases. Excess of fat deposition will be there, and everything will be against you. So try to avoid the junk food as much as you can. Well, we have now the food preservation. We have now the food preservation. Now you see, Our country is a country where it is most of the times it is hot and humid. Oh, obviously some months are very cold also, not everywhere. So we need to preserve our food properly, because in this kind of temperature and saltiness, the growth of microbes are more. So if the growth of microbes are more, so we need to protect our food properly. Number one, how to, do the preservation. First thing is canning. Canning of food. Now see, you have seen the canned fish. The fish has been taken out from the water and they are canned and they are sent to the various countries. That is called canned fish, and canning is one of the type of preservation of food. Obviously preservatives are given, sodium bisulfate, and as well as also some preservants, that is also given there. That is also given there. After canning, we have salting. You see, at our home also, our mummies and all people, those who are cooking the food, they salt the food, especially the fish, meat and all those, before preserving, because salting prevents the microbes to grow. Salt kills the microbe if it is properly kept. So salting is one part of the preservation of the food. Then we have the pickling. So pickling of the food is another part, another type where we can, keep them, the food can be preserved. Then sun drying. Drying takes out the excess water from the food, and what happens if the excess water is gone? So moisture will not be there, so growth of microbes will also not be there. So that is how they can do. And pickling, making the pickle, and then they can be sent to various countries and all. So that is drying and adding the. Then we have the syrup, sugar syrup. The food can be kept in sugar syrup, making syrup and put the food inside and give the sugar coating. So the food will be lasting more and there will be less chance of being attacked by the microbes. So except of that, we have the freezing. Now freezing is done at our home by the small freezers. But when the food is going outside, the huge amount of fish and meat and all those, what is happening, they are being kept inside the ship, and there is a system of giving frozen carbon dioxide, and that covers the whole complete food, and no microbes, nothing else cannot be touching. When they are unloaded in other part of the country or continent, then what happens, they release the pressure, carbon dioxide then becomes gas up from the freezing to gas. Frozen carbon dioxide becomes gas and goes out. So this is how the freezing works at home and outside. Right? So these are the things what we have already studied. And so we need to eat food to grow and stay. And let us discuss some question answers for you so that you can go through. As the chapter is finished, I tell you all the question answers from your exercise you will be getting in your school website called www.bsnes.in. Well children, after the chapter we will just go through some question answers. I think you will get here all question answers of the exercise in your website of your school. I told you that www.bsnes.in. But here I am giving you the answers once more. The objective questions, first one is question number 1, that the answer 1 is starch and sugar, 1A. And question number 1B is protein, question number 1C is iodine, question number 1D is roughage, question number E is salting, and question number F is drying. Then question number 2, First one, A, is fat soluble, B is trace, number C is iron, number D is vitamin K, number E is junk, and number F is pickle. Now for true false you have question number 3, A true, B true, C true, D false, E false, and F false. Your question number 4 you will see in scanning, where in your www.bsnes.in. Now subjective questions. Question number 5, A, they are the carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Question number B, the proteins build, maintain and replace the tissues in our body. They are building bodybuilding food, and they form the immune system also. The fats provide energy, protect the vital organs, keeps our body warm. Next is question number D. A balanced diet contains of all essential nutrients, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals and vitamins, water and roughage in a proper and adequate manner. And question number E. Roughage helps in digestion. They never digest themselves, but they provide the little vitamin and our excretion smooth and maintain properly our body weight. And then F, the junk food contains excess of sugar, salt or fat. They do not have the essential nutrients such as the vitamins and minerals. The other effect are obesity and indigestion. They spoil liver, kidney and vital organs. So that are the things. Question number 6, the answer is MCQ number A, the vitamin C, MCQ number B, vitamin D, MCQ number C is 1, vitamin C, D, question number 3, D, answer number 3, both 1 and 2, and E, question number 3, vitamin C. The hot questions, it is the rickshaw puller because it does more physical work, so he needs more food. To build our body, Tia needs a good amount of proteins because Tia is a growing child. Question number 9, we lose water when you exercise or walk, especially in the hot weather. Thus we should drink more water. But the more water should be actually following the rules. It's not that 8-9 liters. It will be whatever the doctors say, following the age, body weight and all those. Okay? And then question number 10, the boiling kills most of the minerals and then can cause food spoil. Thus we boil milk before we drink. But the boiling also kills the germs and all. So let us have a quick look about it. So we have the chapter 5 food and our basic need. Food is nothing but the chemical energy which is kept, solar energy is kept in the form of chemical energy and finally converted to kinetic energy which works in our body and gives us the energy. Then the 5 types of main food and the 2 other foods are carbohydrate, proteins, fats and oils, minerals and salts, vitamins and roughage. Then we have the water is also there. The fiber or the roughage is required for the body because they suck the water, helps in digestion and keeps the bones clear so that our body weight is maintained and also all the excretory matter goes out of the body properly. And then the water is helping in all kinds of chemical reaction going in the body. They keep the temperature nice of the body and they also help in keeping the luster of the body. That means glamour of the body. Alright, then the balanced diet. Balanced diet is very much required. What is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is a diet where all the required nutrients, that is carbohydrates, proteins, fats and oils, minerals, vitamins, water and roughage are maintained and taken in a proper and adequate manner. That is the balanced diet. And balanced diet makes you immune and very, very healthy. Okay. Now we have food preservation. In food preservation, we use the canning. You see some canned food is found in our country also, and most of the canned food goes to the other country where the people like the canned food. But before canning, they are given preservatives by sodium bisulfate and all those. And then salting. Salting is a common process of, keeping the things. Well, our mummies and our cooks, they do salting to prevent microbes from that. Number three is pickling. Pickling is a kind where in common language we call achar. We make it and then they prevent, all the microbes to grow. Drying is a process where excess of water is taken out and the dry matter is kept nicely. Next is sugar syrup. In sugar syrup, the coating is given, so microbes cannot grow and it remains okay. At last, there is freezing. Freezing of two types. One is freezing at home and the other freezing. That means a huge amount of the food goes outside in the ship and they freeze it by means of solid carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, they freeze it and the carbon dioxide gives a layer over it in the ship, and when they go to the other country, the pressure is released, so carbon dioxide becomes gas and they goes out. This is all about the chapter. You got your question answers explained all. Even then the question answers you can get in your website of the school, www.bsnes.in. And I think you have gone through the chapter nicely, understood nicely. Thank you and have a good day.